Marcus Chun sat in his large office on the 42nd floor. Outside his window, the city looked small. Cars moved like toys on the streets below. People walked like tiny ants. He had built this empire from nothing. 20 years ago, he was just a poor kid with big dreams. Now he was worth $3 billion. But today, none of that mattered. Marcus looked at his phone. The screen showed a video from his home security camera. In the playroom, his 4-year-old daughter Lily sat in her small wheelchair. She stared at the toys around her but did not move. She never moved. Lily had been born different. The doctors said she had something wrong with her brain and nerves. They used big words that Marcus did not understand at first. But the meaning was clear. His daughter would never walk. She would never run. She would never chase butterflies in the garden like other children. Marcus pressed a button on his desk. His assistant Sarah came into the office right away. "Sir?" Sarah asked. "Cancel my meeting with the Tokyo team," Marcus said. "I need to go home." Sarah looked worried. "But sir, this meeting is very important. They flew in just for this." Marcus stood up. He was tired, so very tired. "Sarah, nothing is more important than my daughter." The drive home took 30 minutes. Marcus lived in a huge house on the hill. It had 12 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, and a pool, but it felt empty. It had felt empty since his wife Linda left 2 years ago. Linda could not handle Lily's condition. She tried for 2 years. She cried every night. She blamed herself. She blamed Marcus. She blamed God. Then one morning Marcus woke up and found a note on the kitchen table. Linda was gone. She said she could not be the mother that Lily needed. Marcus never remarried. He threw himself into work during the day. At night he came home to his silent house and his silent daughter. When Marcus walked into the house, he heard voices from the playroom. The current nanny, Mrs. Peterson, was talking to someone on the phone. She sounded upset. "I cannot do this anymore," Mrs. Peterson said into her phone. "The child just sits there. She does not respond to anything. I feel like I'm talking to a wall." Marcus felt anger rise in his chest. This was the 7th nanny in 2 years. They all started with hope. They all promised they could help Lily, but they all gave up in the end. Mrs. Peterson saw Marcus in the doorway. Her face turned red. She quickly ended her phone call. "Mr. Chun," she said, "I was just ... "You were just quitting," Marcus said. His voice was calm but cold. "Like all the others." Mrs. Peterson looked down at her feet. "Sir, I tried my best. But Lily needs more help than I can give. She needs doctors. She needs special treatment. She needs someone who will not give up on her," Marcus said. Mrs. Peterson gathered her things and left. Marcus was alone with Lily again. He walked into the playroom. Lily sat in her wheelchair near the window. Sunlight came through the glass and made her dark hair shine. She was beautiful, just like her mother, but her eyes looked empty. She stared at nothing. "Hello, princess," Marcus said softly. He sat down next to her wheelchair. "How was your day?" Lily did not answer. She never answered. The doctor said she could hear and understand, but she rarely spoke. When she did, it was just single words. "Water, cookie, daddy." That was all. Marcus had spent millions trying to help his daughter. He hired the best doctors in the world. He bought special equipment. He tried new treatments from other countries. Nothing worked. Dr. Harrison, Lily's main doctor, always said the same thing. "Mr. Chun, you must accept reality. Lily's condition is permanent. The damage to her nervous system is too severe. The best we can do is keep her comfortable." But Marcus could not accept it. He was a fighter. He had built a technology company from his small apartment. He had created jobs for thousands of people. He had solved problems that other people said were impossible. Surely he could solve this too. Marcus reached into his pocket and pulled out a small music box. It was silver and had a tiny dancer on top. When he opened it, soft music played. The little dancer spun around and around. "Look, Lily," Marcus said. "Remember this? Mommy gave it to you." For just a moment, Lily's eyes moved toward the music box. Marcus felt hope jump in his chest, but then Lily looked away again. The moment was gone. Marcus closed the music box. He felt tears in his eyes, but did not let them fall. He had to be strong. Lily needed him to be strong. The house felt too quiet. Marcus could hear the clock ticking in the hallway. He could hear cars passing on the street outside. But from Lily there was only silence. Marcus remembered when Lily was a baby. Before they knew about her condition, she seemed normal. She smiled. She laughed when he made funny faces. She reached for his finger and held on tight. Those memories felt like they belonged to someone else now. The phone rang. It was Sarah from the office. "Sir, the Tokyo team is very upset about the canceled meeting. They want to reschedule for tomorrow." "Fine," Marcus said. "Set it up. Also, sir, we need to find a new nanny for Lily. Should I call the agency again?" Marcus looked at his daughter. She had not moved since he came home. She looked like a beautiful doll in her wheelchair. "Yes," he said, "call them. But tell them we need someone different this time. Someone who will not give up." After dinner, Marcus carried Lily to her bedroom. She was small for her age and light as a feather. He changed her into pajamas and brushed her teeth. She let him do everything without fighting or helping. He read her a story about a princess who could fly. Lily stared at the ceiling while he read. When he finished, he kissed her forehead. "Good night, princess," he said. "Tomorrow will be better." But Marcus did not believe his own words. Tomorrow would be like today, and the day after would be the same. Lily would sit in her wheelchair, silent and still. Another nanny would come, and eventually quit. The doctors would say nothing had changed. Marcus went to his own room. He sat on his bed and looked at a photo on his nightstand. It showed him Linda and baby Lily at the hospital. They all looked so happy. They thought they had everything. Now Linda was gone. Lily was trapped in her own body. And Marcus felt more alone than ever. He thought about his company. Tomorrow he would go back to his office. He would make deals worth millions of dollars. People would call him brilliant and successful. But he would trade it all to see his daughter take just one step. Marcus turned off the lights and tried to sleep. But sleep did not come easily these days. He lay in the dark and listened to the silence of his big, empty house. Somewhere down the hall, his daughter slept in her small bed, locked in a world that no one else could enter. Marcus closed his eyes and made the same wish he made every night. "Please let tomorrow be different. Please let someone help my little girl." He did not know that his wish was about to come true in the most unexpected way. Sarah had worked for Marcus Chun for 5 years. She knew her boss better than anyone. She saw how tired he looked every morning. She watched him check his phone constantly, looking at the security cameras from home. She knew he was losing hope. The nanny agency sent 3 candidates for interviews. Sarah set up meetings for the next day. But that morning, something unexpected happened. A young woman walked into the office building. She did not look like the other nannies who had come before. She wore simple jeans and a bright yellow sweater. Her long black hair was in a messy bun. She carried a guitar case on her back. "Excuse me," the woman said to the security guard. "I am here about the nanny job." The security guard looked confused. "Do you have an appointment?" "No," the woman said with a smile. "But I heard you need help. My name is Elena Rodriguez." The security guard called Sarah. Sarah came down to the lobby to meet this unexpected visitor. Elena looked young, maybe 28 years old. Her eyes were bright and full of energy. She had a small scar on her chin and paint under her fingernails. "I do not have you on my list," Sarah said. "Are you from the agency?" "No," Elena said. "I heard about the job from my friend Maria. She cleans offices in this building. She told me about Mr. Chun's daughter." Sarah frowned. This was not how things worked. Marcus only hired people through proper agencies. People with the right papers and references. "I am sorry," Sarah said. "But Mr. Chun only interviews candidates from professional agencies." Elena nodded. "I understand. But can I tell you something? I worked with children like Lily for 3 years. Children who cannot walk or talk like others. I know it is hard. I know most people give up." Sarah looked at this strange young woman. There was something different about her. She did not look sad or scared when she talked about disabled children. She looked excited. "What kind of work did you do?" Sarah asked. "I was a dance teacher," Elena said, "but not regular dance. I taught children with special needs, children in wheelchairs, children who could not hear or see, children who were told they could never dance." "And did they dance, I mean?" Elena's smile got bigger. "They all danced. Maybe not with their feet, but they danced. Some danced with their hands. Some danced with their eyes. Some danced with their hearts." Sarah felt something she had not felt in a long time. Hope. "Wait here," Sarah said. "Let me call Mr. Chun." Marcus was in his office, getting ready for the first nanny interview. When Sarah called, he sounded tired already. "What is it, Sarah?" "Sir, there is someone here to see you, about the nanny position. She is not from the agency." "Then why are you bothering me?" Marcus asked. "Sir, I think you should meet her. She is different." Marcus was quiet for a moment. "Different how?" "She worked with special needs children. She has ideas." "Sarah, I have tried everything. I have hired the best people money can buy." "I know, sir. But maybe the best person is not the most expensive one," Marcus sighed. "Fine, send her up. But I only have 10 minutes. Elena rode the elevator to the 42nd floor. She was not nervous. She had been in harder places before. She had worked in community centers with no money and broken equipment. She had taught children whose parents had given up on them. Sarah led Elena to Marcus's office. The room was huge and cold. Everything was black or white or gray. There were no pictures except for one photo of a little girl on the desk. Marcus looked up when Elena walked in. He had expected someone older, more professional. This young woman looked like she had just come from an art class. "Miss Rodriguez," Marcus said. "Sarah tells me you want to work with my daughter." "Yes, sir," Elena said. "I do. Tell me about your experience." Elena sat down in the big leather chair across from Marcus's desk. "For 3 years, I ran a program called Dancing Dreams at the community center in East Los Angeles. We had no money and old equipment, but we had children who needed hope." "What kind of children?" "All kinds. Some were born different, like your daughter. Some were hurt in accidents. Some were just told they were not good enough. But they all wanted to move, to express themselves, to feel joy." Marcus leaned back in his chair. "My daughter cannot walk. She barely speaks. 7 nannies have quit because they could not handle her condition." "Mr. Chun, can I ask you something?" Elena said, "When you look at your daughter, what do you see?" The question surprised Marcus. "I see a little girl who cannot do the things other children do." "That is not what I asked. I asked what you see, not what she cannot do." Marcus was quiet for a moment. He thought about Lily sitting by the window, sunlight in her hair. "I see someone who is trapped, someone who wants to get out but cannot find the way." Elena smiled. "That is exactly what I see too. And I know how to help people find their way out." "How?" "Music, movement, play, joy. Children like Lily are not broken, Mr. Chun. They just need someone to speak their language." Marcus had heard promises before. "Miss Rodriguez, I have spent millions on therapy. I have hired experts from around the world. Nothing has worked. Maybe because they were trying to fix something that is not broken. Your daughter does not need to be fixed. She needs to be understood. Do you have references, certificates, proof that your methods work?" Elena reached into her bag and pulled out her phone. She showed Marcus a video. In it, a boy of about 8 sat in a wheelchair. Music was playing. Slowly, the boy began to move his arms, then his head. His face lit up with joy as he moved to the rhythm. "This is David," Elena said. "The doctor said he would never respond to anything. This video was taken 3 months after I started working with him." Marcus watched the video twice. The boy looked so happy, so alive. "Where did you go to school for this?" Marcus asked. "I studied dance at community college. But most of what I know, I learned from the children themselves. They taught me that there are many ways to communicate, many ways to move, many ways to be alive. Marcus looked at the photo of Lily on his desk. The other nannies all had degrees. They had certifications. They came from the best agencies. And they all quit, Elena said gently. Maybe it is time to try something different. What makes you think you will not quit too? Elena was quiet for a moment. Then she said, Mr. Chun, when I was 7 years old, I was in a car accident. For 6 months, I could not walk. The doctor said I might never dance again. But my grandmother would not give up on me. She played music every day. She moved my legs even when I could not feel them. She never stopped believing I would dance again. And did you? I am here, am I not? I believe in miracles, Mr. Chun, but more than that, I believe in not giving up. Marcus studied Elena's face. She was young and had no fancy degree. She had worked in poor neighborhoods with no resources. But there was something about her that the other nannies did not have: fire, determination, hope. I cannot pay you what? I paid the others, Marcus said. This was not true, but he wanted to test her. I do not care about money, Elena said. I care about helping your daughter find her voice. The job is hard. Lily can be difficult. She does not respond to most people. The best jobs are always hard, Elena said. And the best children are worth the effort. Marcus made a decision. That surprised even him. I will give you 2 weeks. Trial period. If you can show me any improvement in Lily, we will talk about making it permanent. Elena stood up and shook Marcus's hand. Her grip was strong and warm. Thank you, Mr. Chun. You will not regret this. As Elena left the office, Sarah canceled the other nanny interviews. She had a good feeling about this young woman with paint under her fingernails and hope in her eyes. That evening, Marcus drove home with mixed feelings. He had hired someone with no proper training. His board of directors would think he was crazy. The doctors would disapprove. But something in Elena's voice made him want to believe. Maybe it was time to stop thinking about what Lily could not do. Maybe it was time to find out what she could do. Marcus parked in his driveway and looked up at Lily's bedroom window. Tomorrow, Elena would meet his daughter. Tomorrow they would find out if hope was enough to work miracles. Elena arrived at the Chun house at 8 in the morning. She had barely slept. All night she thought about the little girl she was about to meet. She had watched videos online about children with conditions like Lily's. She had called her old teacher from community college for advice. But mostly she had trusted her heart. Marcus opened the front door. He looked tired, like he had not slept well either. Good morning, Mr. Chun, Elena said. She carried her guitar case and a large bag full of supplies. Good morning, Marcus said. Are you ready for this? I am ready to meet Lily, Elena said with a smile. Marcus led Elena through the big house. Everything was clean and expensive, but it felt cold. There were no children's drawings on the walls, no toys scattered around. It was like a museum instead of a home. They stopped outside the playroom door. Marcus looked nervous. She is having breakfast, Marcus said. The morning nurse feeds her. Lily cannot hold a spoon steady enough to feed herself. Elena nodded. Can I go in alone? Sometimes children act differently when their parents are watching. Marcus hesitated. He had never left Lily alone with a new person so quickly, but something about Elena made him trust her. All right, he said. I will be in my office if you need anything. Elena took a deep breath and opened the playroom door. Lily sat in her wheelchair at a small table. A nurse was feeding her oatmeal with a spoon. Lily's head was tilted to one side. She stared at the wall while she ate. Good morning, Elena said softly to the nurse. I am Elena, the new nanny. The nurse looked relieved. Oh, thank goodness. I am Janet. I help with Lily's medical needs. Elena walked slowly toward Lily. She did not rush or make sudden movements. She had learned that children with special needs often got scared easily. Hello, Lily, Elena said in a quiet voice. My name is Elena. I brought some things to show. You? Lily did not look at Elena. She kept staring at the wall. She does not respond much, Janet said. The poor thing is in her own world. Elena sat down on the floor next to Lily's wheelchair. She opened her guitar case very slowly. The latches made soft clicking sounds. For just a second, Lily's eyes moved toward the sound. And then she looked away again. Elena smiled. That tiny movement was important. It meant Lily could hear. It meant she was aware of her surroundings. I brought my guitar, Elena said to Lily. Do you like music? Lily said nothing. But Elena noticed something. When she spoke, Lily's head moved slightly toward her voice. Janet finished feeding Lily and cleaned up the breakfast dishes. I will be back at lunchtime, she told Elena. Call me if you need anything. Now Elena and Lily were alone. Elena pulled her guitar from its case. It was an old acoustic guitar with scratches and worn spots. She had bought it used when she was 16. This guitar has been with me for a long time, Elena said to Lily. It has helped me talk to many children. Maybe it can help us talk too. Elena tuned the guitar strings. Each note rang clear in the quiet room. She watched Lily carefully. With each note, Lily seemed to listen a little more. Then Elena began to play a simple song. It was soft and slow, like a lullaby. She hummed along but did not sing words yet. Something amazing happened. Lily turned her head toward Elena, not all the way, but enough to see the guitar. Elena's heart jumped with excitement, but she kept playing. She did not want to scare Lily by reacting too strongly. You like music, Elena said while she played. I can tell your eyes are listening. Elena played for 10 minutes. She noticed that Lily's fingers started to move slightly. Just tiny movements, but they matched the rhythm of the music. When the song ended, Elena set the guitar down. That was beautiful, Lily. You were listening to every note. Elena opened her big bag and pulled out several items. She had maracas, small drums, colorful scarves, and bells on ribbons. I brought some friends for us to play with, Elena said. She picked up the maracas and shook them gently. They made a soft, rhythmic sound. Lily's eyes followed the maracas as Elena moved them. Would you like to try? Elena asked. She placed one maraca on the arm of Lily's wheelchair, right next to her hand. Lily stared at the maraca but did not touch. That is okay, Elena said. We have all day. There is no hurry. Elena picked up a bright red scarf. She waved it slowly in the air, letting it float and dance. The scarf caught the sunlight from the window and seemed to glow. For the first time, Lily made a sound. It was very quiet, almost like a sigh, but Elena heard it. You like the pretty colors, Elena said. Red is a happy color. It reminds me of roses and fire and summer. Elena continued to wave the scarf. She moved it in time with music she hummed. The scarf danced like it was alive. Then something wonderful happened. Lily lifted her hand. It was shaky and slow, but she reached toward the red scarf. Elena moved. The scarf closer, but not too close. She wanted Lily to stretch for it, to make an effort. Lily's fingers brushed the edge of the scarf. Elena saw her smile. It was just a tiny smile, but it was real. You touched it, Elena said with joy. That was amazing, Lily. Elena spent the rest of the morning introducing Lily to different sounds and textures. She brought out a small keyboard and played simple melodies. She showed Lily smooth stones and rough bark. She let Lily smell different flowers from the garden. Each time, Lily responded a little more. She would turn her head toward new sounds. Her fingers would move when Elena played rhythm games. Once, when Elena played a funny song about animals, Lily almost laughed. Marcus checked on them through the security camera in his office. He could not believe what he was seeing. Lily looked more alive than she had in months. She was paying attention. She was engaged. At lunchtime, Janet returned to feed Lily. She was surprised to find Elena and Lily sitting close together. Elena was reading a story with lots of different voices for each character. She seems more alert today, Janet said quietly. To Elena, she is very smart, Elena replied. She understands everything. She just needs to find her way to show us. After lunch, Elena tried something new. She put on soft background music and began to tell Lily a story. But this was not an ordinary story. Once upon a time, Elena said, there was a princess who lived in a tall tower. The princess had a magical secret. She could hear music that nobody else could hear. As Elena told the story, she used her hands to act out the scenes. She moved like the wind when she talked about storms. She fluttered her fingers like birds when the princes met friendly animals. Lily watched every movement. Her eyes followed Elena's hands as they painted pictures in the air. The princess wanted to share her music with the world, Elena continued, but she needed to find her voice first. Every day she practiced. She hummed, she tapped, she moved in her own special way. Elena began to tap a rhythm on her knee. Tap dash tap dash tap, pause, tap dash tap dash tap, dash a few minutes of this rhythm. Something incredible happened. Lily's finger began to tap on her wheelchair. She was copying Elena's rhythm. Elena tried not to show how excited she was. Instead, she kept the story going. The princess discovered that she did not need to sing like other people. She had her own music, her own way of dancing, her own way of being beautiful. By the end of the day, Elena had made a list of things she learned about Lily. Lily responded strongly to music and rhythm. She liked bright colors, especially red and yellow. She could follow simple patterns and movements. She understood everything. People said to her she wanted to participate but did not know how. She had good days and bad days. Like everyone, when Marcus came home that evening, Elena was packing up her supplies. Lily sat in her wheelchair, but she looked different. She looked more awake, more present. "How did it go?" Marcus asked. "It went very well," Elena said. "Lily is an amazing little girl. She has so much to say. We just need to help her find the words." Did she do anything, move or speak?" Elena smiled. "Mr. Chun, your daughter spent the whole day communicating with me. She may not use words the way other children do, but she is definitely talking." Marcus looked at Lily. She seemed calmer than usual, less distant. "What do you plan to do tomorrow?" Marcus asked. "More music? More stories? More play, and I want to take her outside if that is okay. Children need sunshine and fresh air." Marcus nodded. "Whatever you think is best." As Elena left that evening, she felt hopeful. This was just the first day, but she could see that Lily was ready to learn and grow. She was ready to find her voice. Elena drove home thinking about the little girl who could hear music that nobody else could hear. Tomorrow, they would make more music together. Tomorrow, they would take another step toward helping Lily find her way out of the silent world she lived in. The key was patience. The key was believing that every child had something special inside them, waiting to be discovered. 3 weeks had passed since Elena started working with Lily. Every day brought small improvements. Lily now looked at Elena when she entered the room. She moved her hands more when music played. She even made soft sounds during story time, but Marcus was getting impatient. He had hoped for bigger changes by now. The doctor said that small improvements did not mean much. They warned him not to get his hopes up. Children with Lily's condition sometimes show temporary improvements, Dr. Harrison had said during their last visit, but real progress is very rare. Marcus tried to believe in Elena's methods, but doubt was growing in his mind. Maybe the doctors were right. Maybe he was just seeing what he wanted to see. That Thursday morning, Elena arrived with something new. She carried a large box along with her usual guitar and bag of supplies. "Good morning, Lily," Elena said as she entered the playroom. "I brought something special for us today." Lily was sitting by the window in her wheelchair. She turned her head when Elena spoke. This had become their morning routine. Elena opened the box and pulled out pieces of a small puppet theater. It was made of bright blue fabric with gold stars sewn on it. "Today we are going to tell a very important story," Elena said as she set up the theater. "It is about a brave princess who needs to save her kingdom." Elena had been planning this story for days. She had learned that Lily responded well to tales about princesses and magic. But this story would be different. This story required Lily to participate. Marcus was in his office, watching through the security camera as usual. He saw Elena setting up the puppet theater. It looked like something from a children's birthday party, not a serious therapy session. Elena placed several hand puppets on the small stage. There was a princess with long yellow hair, a wise queen, a friendly dragon, and a mean wizard. Once upon a time, Elena began, moving the prince's puppet, there was a kingdom that had lost all its music. The mean wizard had stolen every song, every melody, every happy sound. Elena made the wizard puppet dance across the stage in a scary way. She used a deep, mean voice for him. The people of the kingdom were very sad, Elena continued. They could not sing, they could not dance. They had forgotten how to laugh. Lily watched the puppet show with wide eyes. She had never seen anything like this before. The brave princess knew she had to help her people, Elena said. But she had a problem. The princess could not walk like other people. She used a special chair with wheels to move around. Elena made the princess puppet sit down behind the stage as if she was in a wheelchair. The wise queen came to see the princess, Elena continued, bringing out the queen puppet. She said, "My dear daughter, only you can save our kingdom. But you must find the magic music that lives inside your heart." Elena looked at Lily. The princess was scared. She did not think she was brave enough. What do you think, Lily? Was the princess brave enough? This was the first time Elena had asked Lily a direct question during story time. Lily stared at the puppets but did not answer. The princess decided to try, Elena continued. She closed her eyes and listened very carefully. Deep inside her heart she could hear music, beautiful, magical music. Elena began to hum a soft melody. As she hummed, she made the prince's puppet move slowly across the stage. But the music was still trapped inside, Elena said. The princess needed to find a way to let it out. She tried singing, but no words came. She tried dancing, but her legs would not move. Elena paused the story. She looked directly at Lily. Then the princess had an idea. Maybe she did not need to sing with her voice. Maybe she did not need to dance with her feet. Maybe she could make music in her own special way. Elena picked up the prince's puppet and held it out toward Lily. The princess knew that to save her kingdom, she had to stand up. She had to be brave. She had to try, even if it was scary. Elena moved the prince's puppet closer to Lily's wheelchair. The wise queen told the princess, "You are stronger than you know. The magic is inside you. You just have to believe something." Strange began to happen. Lily was staring at the prince's puppet with intense focus. Her hands gripped the arms of her wheelchair. Elena continued the story, her voice getting more exciting. The princess took a deep breath. She thought about all the people in her kingdom who needed her help. She thought about the music trapped in their hearts, and then Elena paused dramatically. The princess pushed herself up from her chair. She stood tall and proud. And when she did, the most beautiful music filled the air. The magic was free. At that exact moment, something incredible happened. Lily pushed herself up from her wheelchair. Her small hands pressed down on the armrests. Her legs, which had never supported her weight, began to straighten. Slowly, shakily, Lily stood up. Elena's heart stopped. She could not believe what she was seeing. Lily stood for 3 seconds. Her face showed fierce concentration. Her whole body trembled with effort. Then she sat back down in her wheelchair, breathing hard. Elena dropped the puppet. She stared at Lily with tears in her eyes. "Lily," Elena whispered, "you did it. You stood up." In his office, Marcus had been watching the security camera while working on his computer. When he looked up and saw what was happening, he knocked over his coffee cup. "Oh my God," Marcus said out loud. He ran from his office, down the stairs, and into the playroom. When he got there, Elena was kneeling next to Lily's wheelchair. Lily looked tired but alert. "What happened?" Marcus asked, breathing hard. "She stood up," Elena said, her voice full of wonder. During the story, when the princess had to be brave, Lily stood up. Marcus looked at his daughter. "Lily, did you really stand up?" Lily looked at her father. For the first time in months, she spoke clearly. "Princess," Lily said, "brave princess." Marcus felt his knees go weak. He sat down on the floor next to Elena and Lily. "Can you do it again, princess?" Marcus asked gently. Lily looked at Elena. Elena picked up the prince's puppet. "The princess saved her kingdom once," Elena said, "but kingdoms need to be saved every day." The princess has to keep being brave. Lily gripped the armrests of her wheelchair again. This time, Marcus and Elena both watched as she pushed herself up. She stood for 5 seconds this time before sitting back down. Marcus started to cry. He had not cried in years, but he could not stop the tears. How? He asked. Elena, how did you know this would work? I did not know, Elena said honestly. But I believed, and more importantly, Lily believed. She saw herself as the brave princess. She found her strength in the story. Marcus called Dr. Harrison immediately. The doctor agreed to come to the house that afternoon. When Dr. Harrison arrived, he was skeptical. Mr. Chun, children with Lily's condition sometimes have muscle spasms that look like voluntary movement. We should not get too excited. But when Elena told the prince's story again, Lily stood up for the doctor to see. Dr. Harrison's mouth fell open. This is impossible, the doctor said. According to all our tests, Lily should not be able to support her own weight. Maybe your tests were wrong, Elena said politely. Maybe Lily just needed a reason to try. Dr. Harrison examined Lily carefully. Her muscle tone was better than it had been in previous visits. Her reflexes were stronger. Something real was happening. I want to see her again next week, Dr. Harrison said. If this continues, we may need to revise our understanding of her condition. That evening, Marcus called his assistant Sarah. Cancel all my meetings tomorrow, he said. I am staying home with my daughter. Is everything all right, sir? Sarah asked. Marcus looked across the room at Lily and Elena. They were playing with the puppets together. Lily was moving the prince's puppet and making it dance. Everything is perfect, Marcus said. For the first time in years, everything is perfect. That night, Marcus tucked Lily into bed. As he kissed her goodnight, she looked up at him. Daddy, she said, I am a brave princess. Yes, you are, Marcus said. You are the bravest princess in the world. Elena drove home that night feeling like she was flying. She had witnessed something magical. She had seen a little girl find her strength and her voice, but more than that, she had seen a father find hope again. This was just the beginning. Elena knew that Lily had more strength inside her, waiting to be discovered. Tomorrow they would continue the prince's story. Tomorrow they would help Lily take her next step toward freedom. The little girl who had never moved was finally learning how to fly. After Lily's breakthrough with standing up, Elena knew they needed to build on this success. But she also knew that traditional therapy methods would not work for Lily. The little girl needed something different, something fun, something that felt like play instead of work. Elena spent her weekend planning new activities. She went to toy stores, art supply shops, and even a construction store to buy materials. Her apartment looked like a workshop by Sunday night. On Monday morning, Elena arrived at the Chun house with boxes full of supplies. Marcus met her at the door, looking excited and nervous. How is she today? Elena asked. She stood up 3 times. During breakfast, Marcus said with a big smile. She keeps asking about the prince's story. Perfect, Elena said. Today we are going to build the princess a kingdom. Elena and Marcus carried the boxes to the playroom. When Lily saw all the materials, her eyes got wide. What are we making? Lily asked. She was speaking more now, though her words were still simple. We are making an adventure course for the brave princess, Elena explained. She needs to practice being strong so she can protect her people. Elena began pulling items out of the boxes. She had foam blocks in different colors. She had ropes and pulleys. She had stepping stones and small ramps. She had tunnels made from large cardboard boxes. This looks like a playground, Marcus said. Exactly, Elena replied. Learning should feel like playing. If Lily is having fun, she will not realize how hard she is working. Elena started setting up the first challenge. She placed 2 foam blocks about 3 feet apart. Between them, she stretched a rope at waist height. The princess needs to cross the magic bridge, Elena explained to Lily. But she has to hold on to the safety rope, Elena demonstrated. She stood up, grabbed the rope, and took small steps from one foam block to the other. The bridge helps the princess practice walking between safe places, Elena said. Would you like to try? Lily looked unsure. Standing up in her wheelchair was one thing. Walking was something completely different. I will help you, Elena said. We will go very slowly. Elena positioned Lily's wheelchair next to the first foam block. Then she helped Lily stand up and step onto the block. Lily's legs shook, but she held on tight to Elena's hands. Now grab the rope, Elena said. It will help you balance. Lily reached for the rope with one hand while holding Elena with the other. Very slowly, she lifted one foot and placed it toward the second block. Marcus watched from the doorway, holding his breath. His daughter was trying to walk. Actually, walk. It took 10 minutes for Lily to cross the 3-foot bridge. But she did it. When she reached the second block, she was breathing hard but smiling. I did it, Lily said. I walked on the bridge. You are amazing, Elena said. The princess is getting stronger every day. Over the next 2 weeks, Elena created more challenges for Lily. Each one was disguised as part of the prince's story. But each one helped Lily develop different skills. There was the Tower of Strength, where Lily had to reach up to place blocks on top of each other. This helped her practice balance and coordination. There was the Dragon's Cave, where Lily crawled through tunnels. This strengthened her arms and core muscles. There was the Treasure Hunt, where Lily had to find hidden objects around the room. This encouraged her to move in different directions and practice bending and reaching. Every activity included music. Elena played guitar while Lily moved through the challenges. The rhythm helped Lily coordinate her movements and made everything feel like a game. Marcus began joining the sessions when he came home from work. At first, he just watched, but Elena encouraged him to participate. The princess needs a brave king to help her, Elena told Marcus. Lily will work harder if you are part of the adventure. Marcus was not used to playing games. He was a serious businessman who spent his days in meetings and making important decisions. But for his daughter, he was willing to try anything. The first time Marcus crawled through the cardboard tunnel with Lily, he felt silly. His expensive suit got dirty and his knees hurt. But when Lily giggled as they emerged from the dragon's cave together, Marcus realized he had not heard his daughter laugh in years. Elena also introduced new forms of communication. She taught Lily simple sign language for when words were difficult. She showed her how to use picture cards to express wants and needs. She encouraged Lily to draw and paint her feelings. Lily's artwork was surprising. Her pictures showed bright colors and happy scenes. She drew princesses dancing and flying. She drew herself standing tall in a castle. She drew her father smiling. Look at this, Elena showed Marcus one of Lily's drawings. She sees herself as strong and capable. That is how healing begins, in the mind first, then in the body. Elena also changed how they thought about Lily's wheelchair. Instead of seeing it as a limitation, she helped Lily view it as a tool. The princess has a magic chariot, Elena explained. It helps her travel quickly when she needs to, but she can also walk when she wants to explore. Elena decorated Lily's wheelchair with ribbons and flowers. She attached bells that chimed when the wheels turned. She made it beautiful instead of medical. Not everyone approved of Elena's methods. When Dr. Harrison came for Lily's weekly checkup, he was concerned about the unconventional approach. This is not standard physical therapy, the doctor told Marcus privately. I am worried that Lily might get hurt attempting these activities. But she is improving, Marcus pointed out. She is stronger than she has ever been. Temporary improvements can be misleading, Dr. Harrison warned. Children with neurological conditions often plateau after initial gains. I recommend a more conservative approach. Marcus was torn. Part of him wanted to listen to the medical expert, but another part of him could see the joy and progress in his daughter's daily life. The decision became clear when Marcus attended one of Elena's sessions the next day. Elena had created a new challenge called the Royal Ball. She had set up a large mirror and put on classical music. The goal was for Lily to dance with her reflection. Every princess must know how to dance, Elena told Lily. But there are many ways to dance. Some people dance with their feet. Some dance with their hands. Some dance with their hearts. Elena showed Lily how to move her arms gracefully to the music. Then she helped Lily stand up and sway back and forth. Lily's legs were wobbly, but she was standing and moving to the rhythm dop as the music played. Something beautiful happened. Lily began to move more confidently. She raised her arms above, her head like a real ballerina. She turned her head side to side with the melody. She was dancing. Marcus watched his daughter dance for the first time in her life. Tears ran down his face as he realized that Elena had given his daughter something no doctor ever could. The belief that she was capable of beauty and grace. After the session, Marcus made a decision. "Elena, I want you to become Lily's full-time developmental specialist," he said. "Not just a nanny. I want to give you whatever resources you need to help her reach her full potential." Elena was surprised. "Mr. Chun, I do not have formal training as a therapist." "You have something more important," Marcus replied. "You see possibilities where others see limitations." That is exactly what Lily needs. That evening, Marcus called Dr. Harrison. "Doctor, I appreciate your medical expertise," Marcus said. "But I'm going to continue with Elena's approach. My daughter is happier and stronger than she has ever been." Dr. Harrison was not pleased. "Mr. Chun, I must advise against this decision. This young woman is not qualified to handle your daughter's complex medical needs." "Perhaps," Marcus said. "But she is qualified to see my daughter as a person instead of a condition. And right now, that is more important than any medical degree." As Marcus tucked Lily into bed that night, she looked up at him with bright eyes. "Daddy, tomorrow can we build a bigger kingdom for the princess?" "We can build the biggest kingdom in the world," Marcus promised. Elena drove home that night thinking about how far they had come. Lily was not just standing now, she was beginning to walk short distances. She was dancing, she was laughing. She was becoming the brave princess from their stories, but Elena knew the real work was just beginning. Building strength was only part of the journey. The bigger challenge would be helping Lily believe she could do anything she set her mind to. Tomorrow they would continue building the kingdom. Tomorrow the princess would face new adventures. And with each challenge, Lily would grow stronger and more confident. The little girl who had once sat silent in her wheelchair was learning that there were no limits to what a brave princess could accomplish. 2 months after Elena started working with Lily, word began to spread about the unusual methods being used in the Chun household. Dr. Harrison had spoken to other doctors about his concerns. The story reached Lily's other specialists, and soon, Marcus was getting phone calls from worried medical professionals. Dr. Sarah Williams, a pediatric neurologist from the Children's Hospital, called Marcus on a Tuesday morning. "Mr. Chun, I understand you have dismissed traditional therapy for your daughter," Dr. Williams said. "I am very concerned about this decision." Marcus was in his office, but his mind was at home where Elena and Lily were working on new challenges. "My daughter is improving every day," Marcus said. "She is walking short distances now. She is communicating more. She seems happy for the first time in years." "Mr. Chun, children with conditions like Lily's sometimes show temporary improvements," Dr. Williams explained. "But these gains are often followed by setbacks. When children are pushed too hard, they can actually get worse." "Elena is not pushing Lily too hard," Marcus said. "Everything they do is fun. Lily looks forward to their sessions." "Sir, this young woman has no medical training. She could accidentally harm your daughter. What if Lily falls during one of these activities? What if she injures herself trying to walk?" Marcus had thought about these risks, but he had also seen the light return to his daughter's eyes. "Doctor, Lily was already injured," Marcus said. "She was injured by hopelessness. Elena has given her hope." The medical community was not the only source of criticism. Marcus's business associates were also concerned about his changed priorities. During a board meeting on Wednesday, one of the directors brought up Marcus's frequent absences from the office. "Marcus, you have missed 3 important meetings this month," said James Patterson, the head of marketing. "The Tokyo deal almost fell through because you were not available for negotiations." "I rescheduled that meeting," Marcus said. "The deal went through fine. That is not the point." James continued. Your attention seems to be divided. Some of us are wondering if personal issues are affecting your business judgment. Marcus looked around the conference table at the faces of his colleagues. These people had helped him build his company, but they did not understand what was happening at home. My daughter is learning to walk, Marcus said simply. That is more important than any business deal. Of course family is important, said Rebecca Shan, the chief financial officer. But you have responsibilities to this company and to our employees. Maybe you should consider hiring professional medical care for your daughter so you can focus on work. Marcus felt anger rising in his chest. Professional medical care told me my daughter would never improve. A young woman with a guitar has helped her accomplish what doctors said was impossible. The board members exchanged worried looks. They thought Marcus was losing his judgment. The criticism was not just coming from work. Marcus's ex-wife Linda had heard about Elena through mutual friends. She called Marcus on Thursday evening, her voice full of concern and anger. Marcus, what is this I hear about some dancer teaching Lily to walk? Linda demanded. Are you out of your mind? Hello, Linda, Marcus said calmly. Lily is doing very well. She stood up for 20 seconds yesterday. 20 seconds? Marcus, you are setting yourself up for heartbreak. And worse, you are giving Lily false hope. What happens when she realizes she will never be normal? Marcus gripped the phone tighter. Elena does not try to make Lily normal. She helps Lily be the best version of herself. This is exactly the kind of magical thinking that I could not handle, Linda said. You always believed you could fix everything with money or willpower. Some things cannot be fixed, Marcus. Our daughter is not broken, Marcus said firmly. She never was broken. Linda was quiet for a moment. Then she said something that chilled Marcus to the bone. If you continue with this experimental treatment, I will take you to court. I will fight for custody of Lily. She needs proper medical care, not fairy tales. Marcus hung up the phone feeling shaken. Linda had legal rights as Lily's mother. If, she really wanted to fight for custody, she could make life very difficult. Meanwhile, Elena was facing her own challenges. Other professionals in the special needs community had heard about her work with Lily. Some were supportive, but others were critical. Dr. Michael Torres, a respected physical therapist, visited Elena at the Chun house on Friday afternoon. He wanted to see her methods for himself. Elena was working with Lily on balance exercises when Dr. Torres arrived. They were playing a game where Lily had to stand on one foot for 3 seconds while holding a magic wand. This is highly irregular, Dr. Torres said as he watched. Physical therapy should be conducted in a controlled medical environment with proper equipment. Lily responds better to play than to clinical exercises, Elena explained. She does not even realize she is doing therapy. Dr. Torres frowned as he watched Lily giggle while trying to balance. Young lady, you are not qualified to treat a child with this level of neurological impairment. You could cause permanent damage. What kind of damage? Elena asked. Overexertion could cause muscle strain or joint injury. More importantly, if the child fails to meet unrealistic expectations, she could suffer psychological damage. Elena looked at Lily, who was successfully balancing on one foot while pretending to cast magic spells. Does she look psychologically damaged to you? Elena asked that weekend. The pressure mounted even more. Marcus received an official letter from the state medical board. Someone had filed a complaint about Elena providing medical treatment without proper licensing. The letter stated that Elena could face legal action if she continued to provide therapy services without appropriate credentials. It also warned Marcus that he could be charged with endangering his child. Elena was devastated when Marcus showed her the letter on Monday morning. I never claimed to be a medical therapist, Elena said, her voice shaking. I am just helping Lily play and learn. I know, Marcus said. But some people see it differently. Elena sat down heavily in one of the playroom chairs. Maybe they are right. Maybe I'm in over my head. Maybe Lily needs real doctors, not someone like me. Marcus was about to respond when Lily rolled her wheelchair into the room. She had been listening from the hallway. Elena sad? Lily asked, looking concerned. Elena tried to smile. I am okay, Princess. Elena stay? Lily asked. Elena help Princess be strong? Elena's eyes filled with tears. I want to stay, Lily, but some people think I am not good enough to help you. Lily looked confused. She rolled her wheelchair over to Elena and reached up to touch her face. Elena good, Lily said firmly. Elena help Princess fly. That moment made Marcus's decision easy. He looked at his daughter's innocent face and Elena's worried expression. We are not giving up, Marcus said. Elena, I will hire lawyers to protect you. I will fight the medical board. I will fight Linda if I have to. What you and Lily have. Together is too important to lose. But even as Marcus spoke brave words, doubt crept into his mind. What if everyone else was right? What if he was being foolish? What if Elena's methods eventually failed and Lily got hurt? These doubts grew stronger on Tuesday when Lily had her first real setback. During their morning session, Lily was walking between two chairs when she suddenly lost her balance. She fell hard on her side and began crying. Elena rushed to help her, but Lily could not put weight on her left leg for the rest of the day. The nurse, Janet, was very concerned. This is exactly what the doctors warned about, Janet said quietly. To Elena, maybe the exercises are too advanced. Elena spent the day watching Lily carefully. The little girl was not seriously injured, but she seemed discouraged. For the first time in weeks, she did not want to stand up or try walking exercises. Maybe Princess needs rest day, Lily said sadly. That evening, Marcus came home to find Elena and Lily sitting quietly in the playroom. There was no music playing, no games being played. The room felt heavy with disappointment. What happened? Marcus asked. Elena explained about the fall and Lily's reluctance to try walking again. Maybe everyone is right, Elena said. Maybe I'm pushing her too hard, Marcus looked at his daughter. She seemed smaller somehow, curled up in her wheelchair. With a sad expression, for the first time since Elena had started working with them, Marcus wondered if he had made a terrible mistake. That night he lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Phone calls from doctors rang in his ears. Linda's threats echoed in his mind. The image of Lily falling played over and over. What if his daughter got seriously hurt? What if Elena's methods caused permanent damage? What if he was destroying his daughter's future by refusing to accept reality? Marcus closed his eyes and tried to remember why he had trusted Elena in the first place. He thought about the first day she met Lily. He remembered the moment Lily first stood up during the Prince's story. He recalled the sound of his daughter's laughter, but tonight, those memories felt far away. Tonight, doubt was winning in her own apartment. Elena was having similar thoughts. She looked at her guitar in the corner and wondered if she should pack it away. Maybe she was not qualified for this job. Maybe Lily would be better off with real medical professionals. Elena thought about all the children she had worked with before. She had always believed that love and creativity could overcome any obstacle. 3 days had passed since Lily's fall. She was not physically hurt anymore, but something had changed. The brave princess who had been making amazing progress now seemed afraid to try. She stayed in her wheelchair and shook her head when Elena suggested walking games. Elena tried everything she could think of. She played Lily's favorite songs. She told new princess stories. She brought out colorful toys and games. But Lily just sat quietly, looking sad. I think the fall scared her, Elena explained to Marcus on Wednesday evening. She was doing so well, but now she has lost confidence. Marcus was worried too. Maybe we pushed too hard too fast. Maybe the doctors were right about being more careful. Elena felt terrible. She had seen this happen before with other children. When kids with special needs had setbacks, sometimes they gave up trying altogether. Fear became stronger than hope. What if she never wants to walk again? Elena asked. Quietly. Marcus did not have an answer. He was beginning to think that maybe they should go back to traditional therapy. Maybe it was safer. Maybe slower progress was better than no progress at all. On Thursday morning, Elena arrived at the Chun house feeling discouraged. She had barely slept the night before. She kept thinking about Lily's sad face and wondering what she could do. To help, when Elena entered the playroom, Lily was sitting by the window in her wheelchair. She was holding her favorite stuffed animal, a small white bear that Marcus had given her for her birthday. "Good morning, Princess," Elena said softly. Lily looked up but did not smile like she usually did. "Morning, Elena." Elena sat down on the floor next to Lily's wheelchair. She did not bring out any toys or games. She did not start telling a story. She just sat quietly with her young friend. "Lily," Elena said after a few minutes, "are you worried about falling again?" Lily nodded her head. "Falling hurts?" "Yes, it does hurt," Elena agreed. "I have fallen many times. When I was learning to dance, I fell a lot." "You did?" Lily asked, looking interested for the first time in days. "Oh, yes," Elena said. "I fell so many times that my dance teacher said I should wear extra padding. But you know what I learned?" "What?" "I learned that falling is just part of learning. Every dancer falls. Every person who learns to walk falls sometimes. Even grown-ups fall." Lily thought about this. "But what if I fall again?" Elena smiled gently. "Then I will help you get back up. And your daddy will help you, and you will try again. But what if I cannot do it? What if I'm not really a brave princess?" Elena's heart broke when she heard this. Lily had lost faith in herself. "Lily, can I tell you a secret about being brave?" Elena asked. Lily nodded. "Being brave does not mean you are never scared. Being brave means you try even when you are scared. The bravest princesses are the ones who get back up after they fall." Elena pulled out her guitar and began to play a soft, gentle song. "I know a story about a princess who forgot she was brave," Elena said as she played. "Would you like to hear it?" Lily nodded again, this time with a tiny smile. "Once upon a time, there was a princess who lived in a beautiful kingdom," Elena began. "The princess had been learning to be strong and brave. She could stand tall and walk across magical bridges." Elena continued playing while she told the story. "But one day, the princess had an accident. She fell down and got hurt. After that, she was too scared to try anything new. She stayed in her tower and would not come out." Lily listened carefully to every word. The people in the kingdom were very sad. They missed seeing their brave princess. They missed her smile and her courage. Elena played a sad melody on her guitar. Then one day, the wise queen came to visit the princess in her tower. The queen said, "My dear daughter, I have something important to tell you." Elena made her voice sound like a wise, loving mother. The queen told the princess, "You are still brave, even if you feel scared. Courage is not about never falling down. Courage is about getting back up and trying again." Elena looked at Lily, who was listening with wide eyes. But the princess said, "What if I fall again? What if I get hurt?" The wise queen smiled and said, "Then I will be there to help you. Your father will be there to help you. All the people who love you will be there to help you. You are never alone when you are learning to be brave." Elena played a hopeful melody now. The princess thought about what her mother said. She looked out her tower window and saw all the people in her kingdom. They needed their brave princess to help them. Elena paused in her story and looked at Lily. "What do you think the princess did next?" Elena asked. Lily was quiet for a long moment. Then she said, "Did she try again? What do you think?" Elena asked. Lily looked at her stuffed bear. Then she looked at Elena. I think she was brave again." Elena smiled. "Would you like to find out what really happened?" Lily nodded. Elena stood up and walked to the middle of the room. She set up 2 chairs about 4 feet apart. "The princess decided to try the magic bridge one more time," Elena said. "But this time she asked for help." She asked the wise queen to hold her hand. Elena extended her hand toward Lily. "Would you like to be the brave princess in this story?" Lily stared at Elena's hand for a long time. Elena could see the fear and hope fighting in Lily's eyes. Finally, very slowly, Lily reached out and took Elena's hand. "I will help you," Elena said. "If you fall, I will catch you. If you get tired, we will rest. If you want to stop, we can stop. You are in control, princess." With Elena's help, Lily slowly stood up from her wheelchair. Her legs were shaky, but She held on tight to Elena's hand. I am scared, Lily whispered. That is okay, Elena said. Brave princesses can be scared too. Together they took one step toward the first chair. Then another step. Lily was moving very slowly, but she was moving. You are doing it, Elena encouraged. The princess is being brave. When they reached the first chair, Lily held on to it with her free hand. She was breathing hard, but she was standing on her own. Can you take 3 more steps to the second chair? Elena asked. Lily looked at the distance between the chairs. It seemed very far. What if I fall? She asked. Then we will try again, Elena said simply. Lily took a deep breath. She thought about the princess in the story. She thought about being brave even when she was scared. Very carefully, Lily let go of the first chair. She held Elena's hand and took one step, then another. Then a third step. She made it to the second chair without falling. I did it, Lily said, her face lighting up with joy. I walked. But Elena was not finished with the story yet. The princess proved she was still brave, Elena said. But she wanted to do something special. She wanted to surprise her father, the king. Elena looked toward the doorway. Marcus was standing there, watching. He had come home early from work and heard Elena telling the story. The princess decided to walk all the way to the king without holding anyone's hand. Elena continued. Lily looked at her father. He was about 10 feet away from where she stood by the chair. That is very far, Lily said. Double quotes. Yes, it is, Elena agreed. But the princess in our story was very determined. She wanted to show the king that she was the bravest princess in the whole kingdom. Lily looked at Marcus. Then she looked at Elena. Then she made a decision that surprised everyone, including herself. Lily let go of the chair. She let go of Elena's hand. As she began to walk, step by step, all by herself, Lily walked across the playroom toward her father. Her steps were small and careful, but they were steady. She walked like she had been walking all her life. Marcus could not believe what he was seeing. His daughter was walking to him, really walking, without help, without support. Just walking. When Lily reached her father, she looked up at him with the biggest smile he had ever seen. Daddy, she said, I am a brave princess. Marcus dropped to his knees and caught his daughter in a huge hug. Tears streamed down his face as he held her tight. Yes, you are, he whispered. You are the bravest princess in the world. Elena watched this moment with tears of joy in her own eyes. She had witnessed something truly magical. Not just a little girl learning to walk, but a little girl learning that she was stronger than her fears. From that day forward, everything changed. Lily was no longer the little girl who could not walk. She was the brave princess who chose to walk. Even when she was scared, the doctors who had said it was impossible had to admit they were wrong. The people who had criticized Elena's methods had to see the results with their own eyes, but most importantly, Lily had learned the most valuable lesson of all. She had learned that being brave was not about never falling down. Being brave was about getting back up and trying again, and once a princess learns that lesson, there is nothing she cannot do. 6 months had passed since the day Lily walked across the playroom to her father. The little girl who had once been trapped in silence was now running through the garden, laughing as she chased butterflies. Marcus stood at his office window, watching Lily and Elena play in the yard below. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and he had left work early again. But this time, no one at the company complained. They had all seen the change in their boss. He was happier, more creative, and somehow more successful than ever before. The Tokyo team called, Sarah said, entering Marcus's office with a stack of papers. They want to schedule another meeting to discuss expanding our partnership. Schedule it for next week, Marcus said, still watching his daughter. But make sure it does not conflict with Lily's dance recital. Sarah smiled. 6 months ago, the idea of Marcus attending a children's dance recital would have been impossible. Now, it was the most important event on his calendar. Lily had progressed far beyond anyone's expectations. She could walk confidently for short distances. She could stand for several minutes at a time. She could climb stairs with help. But more importantly, she was happy. She talked constantly now, telling stories about princesses and adventures. She sang songs that Elena taught her. She drew pictures of castles and dragons and brave knights. Dr. Harrison had been forced to admit that his original diagnosis was wrong. At Lily's last checkup, he shook his head in amazement. "I have never seen anything like this," the doctor told Marcus. "According to all our tests 6 months ago, Lily should not be able to do what she is doing now." "Maybe your tests do not measure everything that matters." Marcus had replied politely. The medical community was slowly beginning to pay attention to Elena's methods. Dr. Susan Martinez, a progressive pediatric therapist, had visited to observe Elena's work with Lily. She was so impressed that she asked Elena to train her staff. "What you are doing here is revolutionary," Dr. Martinez told Elena. "You are treating the whole child, not just the disability. You are building confidence along with strength." Elena was still amazed by how much her life had changed. Marcus had officially hired her as Lily's developmental specialist and had given her resources to continue her education. She was taking online courses in child psychology and adaptive movement therapy. She was also writing a book about her experiences with Lily, but the biggest change was in Elena's own confidence. She had always believed in her methods, but now she had proof that they worked. She was planning to open her own center for children with special needs. Using music and play therapy as the foundation, Marcus had offered to fund Elena's center. "You gave me my daughter back," he told her. "Now I want to help you give other children the same gift." The center would be called Dancing Dreams, the same name as Elena's old program in East Los Angeles. But this time she would have proper equipment, trained staff, and unlimited resources to help children reach their potential. Not everyone had accepted the changes gracefully. Linda, Marcus's ex-wife, had indeed tried to fight for custody of Lily. She claimed that Marcus was subjecting their daughter to experimental treatment that could be dangerous. The court case had been difficult. Linda's lawyers argued that Lily's improvements were temporary and that she still needed traditional medical care. They brought in expert witnesses who criticized Elena's lack of formal training, but when the judge met Lily in person, the case was essentially over. Lily walked into the courtroom holding Elena's hand. She spoke clearly to the judge about her favorite games and songs. She even performed a little dance that Elena had taught her. "Your Honor," Lily said in her clear, sweet voice, "Elena helps me be a brave princess. Daddy helps too. We are happy together." The judge smiled at the confident little girl standing before him. "Lily, do you like living with your daddy and Elena?" "Yes," Lily said with enthusiasm. "We play music and tell stories and build kingdoms. Elena says I can do anything if I try hard enough." Linda's lawyers had no response to this. How could they argue against a child who was clearly thriving? The judge ruled in Marcus's favor. "It is clear that Lily is receiving excellent care and making remarkable progress. The court sees no reason to change the current arrangements." After the court case, Linda had asked to see Lily privately. Marcus was hesitant, but Elena encouraged him to allow it. "Lily needs to know that her mother loves her too," Elena said. "Even if Linda made mistakes, she is still Lily's mom." The meeting between Linda and Lily was emotional. Linda cried when she saw how much her daughter had changed. Lily walked to her mother and gave her a hug. "Mommy, do you want to see me dance?" Lily asked innocently. Linda watched through tears as her daughter performed the same little routine she had shown the judge. When Lily finished, Linda applauded softly. "You are amazing, sweetheart," Linda said. "I am so sorry I gave up on you." "It is okay, Mommy," Lily said with the wisdom of a child who had learned about forgiveness. "Sometimes people get scared, but Elena taught me that being brave means trying again." Linda looked at Elena with new respect. "Thank you," she said quietly. "Thank you for believing in her when I could not." From that day forward, Linda became a supporter of Elena's methods. She even helped fund research into alternative therapies for children with developmental challenges. The business world had also taken notice of Marcus's transformation. Several magazines had written articles about the successful CEO who had revolutionized his daughter's care. Marcus was invited to speak at conferences about balancing work and family priorities. 6 months ago, I thought success meant building the biggest company and making the most money, Marcus told an audience of business leaders. But my daughter taught me that real success means helping the people you love reach their full potential. Marcus had restructured his company to allow for more flexible schedules. He encouraged his employees to prioritize their families. Surprisingly, this led to higher productivity and better morale throughout the organization. When people feel supported in their personal lives, they do better work, Marcus explained to his board of directors. Taking care of our families makes us better at taking care of our business. Elena's influence had spread beyond just Lily and Marcus. Janet, the nurse who helped with Lily's medical needs, had started incorporating music into her work with other patients. I never believed in alternative therapy before, Janet admitted to Elena. But I cannot argue with results. Lily is proof that there are many paths to healing. Even Sarah, Marcus's assistant, had been inspired by Elena's approach. She had started volunteering at a local special needs school, teaching children simple office skills through games and music. Elena showed us that learning should be joyful, Sarah said. Why should that be limited to children with disabilities? All children deserve to learn through play and creativity. As Marcus watched Lily and Elena in the garden that afternoon, he thought about how much their lives had changed. Lily was not just walking now, she was running, jumping, and dancing. She attended a regular preschool 3 days a week and was making friends with other children. The playroom in their house had been transformed into a miniature therapy center. Other parents had started bringing their children to learn from Elena's methods. The house that had once been silent and cold was now filled with laughter, music, and the sounds of children playing. Marcus's phone buzzed with a text message from Dr. Martinez. Elena's application to the pediatric therapy graduate program has been approved. Full scholarship, as we discussed. She starts in the fall. Marcus smiled. Elena was finally getting the formal education to go with her natural gifts. In 2 years, she would have the credentials to silence any remaining critics, but the credentials were just a formality. Elena had already proven that she understood something more important than any textbook could teach. She understood that every child had unlimited potential if someone was willing to believe in them. That evening, the three of them sat together at dinner. Lily chattered about her day at preschool, telling them about the pictures she had painted and the songs she had learned. Tomorrow, can we work on my jumping? Lily asked Elena. I want to jump as high as the princesses in our stories. We can practice jumping, Elena agreed. But remember, princesses come in all shapes and sizes. Some jump high, some dance beautifully, some are very smart, and some are very kind. You are already perfect just the way you are? Lily nodded seriously. I know, but I still want to try jumping higher. Marcus laughed at his daughter's determination. She had inherited his drive to always reach for more, but Elena had taught her to enjoy the journey instead of just focusing on the destination. After dinner, they sat in the living room for story time. It was still Elena's favorite part of the day. She would tell Lily new adventures about brave princesses, wise queens, and magical kingdoms. But tonight, Lily had a different request. Elena, can you tell me the story about the princes who learned to walk? Lily asked. You mean our story? Elena asked with surprise. Yes. Tell me about the princess who met the magical teacher with the guitar. Tell me about how she learned. To be brave, Elena looked at Marcus, who nodded encouragingly. Once upon a time, Elena began, there was a little princess who lived in a big, quiet castle. The princess had a loving father, but she felt trapped in her own world.